What up? Hello.
Hello.
Over there pruning yourself.
You know, I just trying to hit that one sweet spot angle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right here.
No, yeah, I remember when we took a group photo, you'll always take the picture and you're like, no, we got to do it again, and then you'll switch sides.
I have one good angle.
And I'm like, damn it, I like the way I looked on that side. We just need to do the prom pose. You know?
I just feel like you have more angles than I do.
No, I don't. Everyone thinks that about other people, but we all only like the way we look on one section of our face. And the other section can suck a dick.
It's a 45-degree angle from up above. It's very specific.
Yeah, very specific. At least you know yours. I usually take a whole roll of film to find mine, and it'll be blurry. So that's probably why I like it, because it's blurry. You can't see the pebbles, imperfections.
It's funny. So when we were at Bellator the other weekend, Matt, who's a really amazing photographer, he, took a little candid picture of me, and I looked at him, and then he sent it to me, and he DM'd it to me, while the fights were still going on. And he's like, oh, I didn't get to do it. I was like, no, it's okay. That's not my angle. It was never going to be my angle. It's never going to look good on me. I don't care how much you try and retouch that.
He could retouch you to look like the left side of your face is the right. Like, it can happen.
It wasn't going to happen. Sometimes you just got to let it go.
You just got to take the L when it comes to a photo that would have been good if it wasn't for your face.
Exactly.
Well, we had a pretty eventful few weeks. Had to kind of pull the plug on last week's session, but we're here now.
You missed us.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you got to make them wait a little bit longer.
Yeah, you were waiting for that Two Straws episode to
drop.
Can't
be so available.
I know, right? Like, we were washing our hair. We had things to do. Big
things to do.
Yes. But we're here. Jessica celebrated a big birthday.
The big 4-0?
What? You say the number? I couldn't bring myself to say mine when I turned 38. I was like, you inspired me to say 38 because I've been acting like it doesn't exist.
No, I say it loud and I say it proud.
Good for you.
I'm 40 and I look amazing.
You do. You look amazing.
From one specific angle.
Yeah.
Amazing.
You
as long as you
look
stay at that one angle.
Girl. From that angle.
From that one angle. Thank you. I'll take it.
Yes. Just celebrated the big 4-0. We went pole dancing to celebrate.
I know. Thank you so much for setting that up.
It was fun, right?
Oh my gosh.
So it was kind of cool because my strength coach, his wife is actually like a pole dancer and instructor and everything. And so when I told her that we wanted to do it, and you had the conversation with her too at one of our fight parties, she's like, oh man, you guys are fighters, so you're gonna like it. Like, you don't have to worry about the pain, so because you're used to it. I'm like, hold up. What do you mean the pain? It's supposed to be fun, sexy, and flirty and easy.
That shit hurt.
Dude.
She talks about the pole biting. Oh. That shit bit the shit out of my shit.
Your shit is bit.
I had the gnarliest bruises from feet to hip bone.
Yeah.
And then even on my neck.
Yeah.
In certain spots.
That flip upside down thing we did.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that was so fun.
That was so much fun.
So was it worth it?
Oh, it was so worth it. I went back the next week and she was like, I thought I wasn't going to see you until after your fight. I was like, listen, I'm technically still 4 weeks out, so it's okay.
It's okay. I could do things right now.
It's okay. And then I climbed up to the top and she was like, please get down. And I was like, no.
You're like the kid on the tallest part of the monkey bars.
No.
No, I feel free up here.
Get down right now. Get down.
You're going to break your arm. And everyone's going to hate me. Dana White will shut down my pole studio.
Who was it? It was Cowboy Cerrone, who always would do the stupidest, craziest things.
Yeah.
After signing a bout agreement. I think that they actually put in a clause inside of the fighter bout agreement.
The Cerrone clause.
It's, that says, you cannot do dangerous shit before a fight because...
Yeah. Because
we need you.
Cerrone just ruined it for everyone. Not that he got hurt doing those things. Not that I know of.
Not that I know.
He's
of either.
always made it to a fight that
Yeah.
he was booked for. But if other people see that and they're not Cowboy Cerrone, I mean, he's a cowboy for a reason. That's why he can go yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker, and go like jet skiing off a ramp
Yeah.
into a tube of fire, and he'll come out okay and be able to fight the next day.
Exactly.
But no one else can do that.
No.
Yeah. So that's the Cerrone clause. It's like the Ally Aquina clause.
Which one is that?
The
Do I
one-
know about that one?
Yeah. They always talk about it in the fighter meeting after the weigh-in. So, like, this is going to be live TV. So don't pull an Ally Aquina and cuss out the fans just because they're booing you. You know, these guys are paying to see you, and we don't need that happening. It's a bad look. So,
Yeah, but if it's on a pay-per-view card,
oh yeah. As long as you paid to see it, you're good. If you're flipping through the channels and you land on, like, I don't know, ESPN or something, and someone's going "fuck you guys," and they might have a problem with it.
you make it a little finey fine.
Yeah.
Little
So
first deduction.
yeah, we have certain rules because of certain fighters. Jess is gonna cause the Jessica Penney law, where you can't go pole dancing before a fight. But that was fun.
It was worth it.
I was surprised how much I liked it.
I loved it.
You were floating. Like, guys, if you ever seen one of Jessica's, like, jiu-jitsu transitions, how, like, smooth and flowy they are, imagine this bitch on a pole. Imagine it. Toes pointed the entire time. I'm like, how do I do How do I slide down? I want to spin faster, but she was just like, So I was very impressed.
Thank you.
Goals.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
So we had a fun time celebrating your birthday. Then we had to recover because we're old. And you're in fight camp, so it's extra recovery time. But tell us how fight camp's been going. You're still on the books to fight the Oh, is that the dance that you're supposed to?
I don't know, but when I was a kid and we were in the swimming pool, we would do that. And that was a shark.
Okay.
And it struck fear in
Cute.
the hearts of many a kid with floaties.
Very cute.
Yes.
Gonna get your floating.
Yeah.
Fight it. That should be, you should work on a submission that looks like that. Like, I bet you could get, like, a cool rear naked, like a double rear naked, where, like, one arm's over the eyes, other arm around the neck.
And just do it like in front of her?
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Like, get on their back, get the one arm rear naked, and then do the other one, and just go.
It'll look like the cover of Jaws, you know, when there's like a swimmer and Jaws is like right there.
Yes.
Yeah, I can see it. I
just
can make
eat
it
her
happen.
face. Eat her face.
Take a bite out of it.
Yes. So how's camp been going?
Camp's been going good. You know, I'm able to push myself.
Yeah,
You know?
I've noticed.
I'm able to like execute really cool stuff. Yeah.
Tell
I'm
me
excited.
more, but not too
No,
much.
I'm not telling you anything more. I was very vague, very cryptic because, you know, can't give away all my secrets.
I know. I do think it's quite a G move when people just say exactly what they're going to do. Like, they're like,
Like they call their shots.
yeah, like Conor McGregor, I'm going to knock him out with this hook in the second round. I don't know if he was that specific, but he would say the rounds, copying Ali. You know,
Yeah.
he wasn't the first one to do it. But it was still impressive because he'd do it every now and then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I always think it's a G move when you're like, everyone knows what I'm going to do.
But you can do it anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I think Aljo did it where he was explaining his whole game plan against somebody. And I forget who it was, and I was like, Aljo, don't do that. And then he did it.
Yeah, he's great at taking the back and staying on.
Yeah, I think it might have been Corey Sandhagen.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of does the same thing. Like he's like a Jake Shields. I'm not being shady. He has
Aljo.
No, I like me some Aljo.
You hear this girl over here.
I like me some Aljo. Stop it.
You're an Aljo fan. No, I know. You're an Aljo fan.
No, he has very specific routes. Like he has drilled those thousands and thousands of times, and he knows how to get there. Yeah. And he's gonna get there, and he's gonna stay there, and he's gonna capitalize.
Yeah,
and he does it really well.
Best backpack in the bantamweight division.
Yeah,
By far, maybe in the UFC. Best pack. Well, active. I was like trying to think of the word. Wait, no, not ever.
Did you press a button?
I am malfunctioning.
It happens.
Yes.
It happens.
The word I was looking for has no sound in it.
I thought you were trying to say like Makachev or something like that because he backpacked Volkanovski this weekend. So I thought that's where you were going, but not even close.
No, because he usually doesn't have to backpack. I think he just had to take what he could get this time. But usually he can just climb on top of you and have his way with you. It doesn't need your back or anything. He's just like, I'm going to take it from the front. Pause, Aljo. Oh, man. But let's talk about some fights then. There's so many to get through because we had such a long hiatus. But maybe we should start with 283.
Yeah, let's go.
All right.
Absolutely.
Well, then. Let's do it.
Okay, so you want to talk about Glover versus Hill?
Oh, my God. I mean, if we're going to talk about a fight on that card, that one.
Or do you want to, like, did I just, like, give away too much? Should we, like, backtrack and work up to it?
No, let's talk about the main and the co-main because we're so late. Like, everyone's over this card already.
I know, but you guys really want to hear our opinions on it, so we're going to give it to you. Don't worry.
No, we're going to give you especially our opinion on the main and co-main. Dude, that fight was so intense. Like, I was on the edge of my seat, grabbing things the whole time. Super impressed with Jamal. Super impressed with Glover, too, for just, like, wading through the storm. Like, we all know that he does that. But when you saw his face afterwards, dude.
Oh, my gosh.
He was slashed up from punches, elbows, kicks to the head. Like, dude can take a punch, man.
And he took all of them.
He took every last one.
He took everything. Jamal threw everything at that man with power on every single kick, punch, anything he threw.
Yeah.
And, man, Glover is freaking tough.
Yeah.
And, I mean, hats off to Jamal. Like, I either thought that it could end early, but then we have Glover's like durable freaking chin and body. So I'm like, maybe it'll go the whole round, but we don't know how good Jamal's takedown defense is going to be.
Right.
Because Glover's a veteran.
Right.
He's crafty. He's tricky, but man.
Dude, it was on point. Like, Jamal's takedown defense was on point. I think he can thank Anthony Smith a little bit for that because he came through for a few
cool
days.
Is that?
That was really awesome because they were supposed to fight.
If I was not a fan, and I'm not saying I wasn't, I'm saying if I was not a fan of him before, I would.
You hear that, Anthony?
No, I like Anthony.
You hear that? No, I'm just bringing it back to
you
the
are
audio
just being.
thing.
No, I know. I know. You were trying to just.
I'm trying, but everyone knows you love them. Yeah, that was fucking awesome of him. And you know, it's beneficial. It's not often that we can train with someone in our weight class, in our same, in our same promotion. But when you have the opportunity, it's very beneficial. The only problem is they can take that information and use it against you as well. So it's great for every other fight because you're like, okay, I got this excellent grappler who's going to like take me down. He's taken down a bunch of people before. He's going to show me what I'm open to. He's going to show my holes. And then you get to work on that. But then he can go back and say, I get him with this takedown every time. So it's really cool that both of them were just like, you know what? I don't fucking care. Like, we're going to get better, the two of us, and we're going to be bros for this fight camp, at least.
Yeah.
Just for this
for
fight
a time,
camp.
but don't get it twisted. I'm recording those training videos.
Yes, exactly. Do not train with someone in your weight class, in your same promotion, and not record those videos because you will not get them from their coach. You will not. I'm sorry.
You take your own camera. You have your own cameraman.
Yes.
Yes.
Don't wait for the airdrop. It's not coming.
It's not going to happen.
It's gonna get errored.
Oops, I don't know what happened. My Wi-Fi is bad. I'm out of reception. You know what? I'll get back to you.
Sorry, I wasn't filming. It was a photo.
Shady.
Sorry. So that was really cool of him, and his takedown defense looked amazing. Jamal's did in the fight. He just everyone already knew his striking was going to be a problem for Glover because like he's just really savvy with his like long straight punches, and then he sets up that like nasty left head kick so fast too.
Dude, I was impressed by the body kicks he was throwing. He was throwing those toe kicks.
Oh yeah, the stabs.
Oh my God. They like kind of come up in a trajectory that is like almost like a roundhouse kick, but then it's like straight at the same time, and it just the toes dig in, and every time he threw it, like my stomach kind of
well, you're good at pointing those toes, like
how I do on the pole.
Yeah, especially on the pole. So that's like something you can take home with you from the Jamal camp. I can't get over how pointy your toes are. It's like so dancery. It was great. Can you stand on point like a ballerina?
Not unless I'm in toe shoes. But no, some ballerinas can like stand up on their toes. I cannot.
Not in ballerina shoes?
No. In ballerina shoes, yeah. But I have these nice little platforms that I stand
on. You don't need those. Yeah, you don't need the on point thing. I thought you might have been able to because your toes are so... what were we talking about? Yeah, the fight. And toes. Only on OnlyFans. Yeah, it was a really great fight. I was really happy for him. And I think the thing that stands out to me was how he reacted after winning. Like, the way he was calm for a long time. And I was like, ooh, he must be tired. And then it all hit him, and he broke down. Dude, my heart.
I was crying.
My heart. Oh,
I was crying. Like, no, that was so sweet.
Cousin.
And I mean, and it's like, you know, I don't know him well, but I've gotten to spend some time with him. And so it's just, you know, you root for people and you want them to have success. And, you know, what a story. What an incredible story. He went from the first ever, you know, person who got on to the UFC through the Contender Series, and now he is a UFC champion. Yeah, it's crazy. An incredible story.
It's a crazy ride, especially because, like, and I think he got brought into Contender Series during the shutdown, like when COVID happened. And that was really the only thing that was signing people. Like, you have a lot of fighters who have the story where they were like, dude, I was about to hang it up. Like, I was about to get a real job. I have kids. I had to support them. And then they got scooped up, and suddenly they're making a living wage and doing what they love, you know. And you can just take it all the way to the top, Michael Chandler. So, so it really is cool to see those rags to riches kind of stories where you have someone who has been grinding for a long time, because he has a record, you know, outside of the UFC. He's not a fresh daisy in there, and he was able to get into the UFC finally and make his way to the top. It's a really inspirational story for anyone outside of a big league who is still very passionate about the sport, still believes that they're the best, their coaches believe they're the best, and they just haven't had that opportunity yet. And we know a bunch of those people.
Yeah, so there really are awesome. Some incredible people in the sport that have been fighting for a long time that have not yet had the chance, and I mean possibly won't ever get the opportunity to make it into like the big show, you know, where they want to be and where they, you know, aspire to be. But I think it's, you know, you look at Jamal and you look at some other fighters and you're just like, you know, it's possible. It's possible. You know, you keep grinding, you keep staying with it, and anything is possible.
Yeah. Congrats, Jamal.
Yes, congratulations.
If anyone had to beat Glover, I'm glad it's you. Such a sweetheart. Both of them. All right. Also, what happened on that card, Brandon Moreno KO'd Davison Figueiredo. How did you feel about that? Because it was like a weird, like, eyeball punch.
Man, but I know exactly that feeling. I know exactly what he was expressing, because it feels like an eye poke. I mean, that guy's, like, the knuckle part went into it. Yeah.
It kind of whipped.
Yeah. So I know what he's talking about. I know how bad that hurts. I know what that feels like, and it absolutely can take somebody out of the game.
Yeah.
So before this fight happened, I was like, why are we doing this a fourth time? Like, isn't there anybody else? Please, anybody else? Even though they are great dance partners, they make for a great fight. I was just like, man, they haven't fought anybody else in 2 years. Was it?
I think it's 3 now. At least 2.5.
I'm like, just can we switch it up a little bit? But yeah, that was an impressive fight. I can understand though how it took Figueiredo out of it.
Yeah,
like completely took him out of it.
Well,
completely
also his eyeball was shut.
Yeah, his eyeball was completely shut.
Like, I don't think he could have kept going if he wanted to.
I don't think so.
It's hard to remember. So long ago.
I know.
Yesterday's news.
But I know. I remember I watched it with you.
Yeah.
Vaguely. I did watch it with you.
Yeah, and I remember seeing the punch whip around, and I felt like it was the thumb knuckle that hit the eyeball first. Dude, your eye, if you think about your eye, and you think about a grape and how easy it is to bruise a grape, you know, just messing with the pressure there is just going to send your entire eyeball into protection mode. And it just shut immediately. Yeah, and you know something happened, you know, I hope people weren't giving them too much shit.
No, but people were like, oh, you're lying because they showed the replay and there was no actual, you know, there wasn't a finger poke, but
it feels the same. Like my poor swollen knuckle.
Oh, from hitting so many people so hard, so many times. Oh my God.
It was exposed. You know, there wasn't any glove on it. So this knuckle is like really swollen still. And that was from 2 months ago. So imagine if I got it in her eyeball. Her eye would be more swollen than my knuckle right now.
I don't feel bad for you. I just don't.
Why? Feel it. It's still swollen.
Oh my goodness.
It's so
because you hit her
puffy.
So many times.
It won't go away.
You just hit her so many times.
I'm like disfigured forever. My hand.
You were never going to be a hand model.
Oh. Rude.
Luckily, you have a pretty face and a nice booty.
From more than one angle.
Hey.
I only have one booty angle, actually. Yeah, I was really happy about that decision just because we've trained with Moreno. We've met him a ton of times. He's always super sweet.
He's such a nice guy.
Yeah, and I kind of felt bad because somebody brought up the point that nobody was in Davidson's corner, from like the commentators to like UFC people. A lot of fighters were backing Moreno, but I think that just comes with the territory when you don't speak a lot of English. I think.
Yeah, and I mean the way Figueiredo portrays himself, and he didn't always, but he kind of developed himself into more of a heel role. And when you're going up against somebody who plays with Legos and who's adorable and is very childlike, it's a
hard act to follow.
It really is. It really is. Because Moreno's a very likable human.
He is. He
is always smiling. He always is, outgoing and personable. And I remember when we were watching the fights last year in January in Anaheim when they fought with their second or third.
That was their third one.
That was their third one.
Yeah.
I mean, there was not one person in that arena that was not rooting for Moreno.
Yeah, yeah. And there's a lot of Brazilians out there. There's a lot. But they were shut down. Yes. They did not speak.
If they were there, they just did
They were like, excuse me? Pardon? Oh, nothing. I think, and I just want to clarify with the English thing. I'm not like, speak English or get out of my country. But you get to connect with people on a different level when you're able to have like a conversation with them.
Absolutely.
And they were mostly speaking about the English speaking fighters and commentators and blah, 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 who were backing Moreno hard because he's such a fun guy. He's such a sweet guy. Like you said, he's adorable with the Lego thing and the pops and all that stuff. And he's just trying to take care of his family, just like Figueiredo is, But
yeah, just different approaches.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's okay.
It's okay. It's okay to back someone. It's okay to like someone, like the more popular guy every now and then.
I get it.
Yeah. So we could talk about other fights, but I say we move on.
You want to do 284? Is that where we're at?
Yeah, well, we had a quick fight night, but we don't have to talk about that. Derek Lewis versus Spivak came on. It was supposed to be in Korea.
It was not.
It was not, but it was still on at 1 a.m. for a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, it's because, so I had the opportunity, and you've worked for Mola too, but I had the opportunity to preview. The reason that they were going to have that fight over there is because they had the finale of the Road to the UFC, which was top prospects from Asia competing in a tournament format, different weight classes. And so they had the finale fights on that card. So that's why it was supposed to be in Korea.
Yeah.
It was a big deal. And I got to preview one of the 155 finale, which was, oh my God.
Jekka?
Which was Jekka.
Versus...
And then his last name is Jubilee.
Ooh. Like the
India.
Mortal Kombat? I mean, not Mortal Kombat.
No.
Like the Marvel character, Jubilee?
Different spelling.
Oh.
Yeah.
But similar
pronunciation.
Oh,
yes.
Interesting. Ooh, was it fireworks? It
was a rough night for our friend Jekka.
Oh.
So Jekka came up. He was a late addition to the tournament. It was a 155 tournament, and he is normally a 145er. He's very tiny, firecracker, very cheeky, very fun to watch, very explosive, big knockout power.
I see what you did there.
Did ya? Thanks for catching it. But the person that he fought, Jubilee, was well prepared. He's a 6 foot solid 155er.
Oh, 6 foot 155. God
yeah,
damn.
and Jekka's like, I mean, you've seen Jekka.
Yeah.
He's like,
he doesn't look that much bigger than me, but I'm sure he is.
He's probably like between maybe like 5'8" tallest.
Yeah.
And a tiny guy. He walks around pretty light. So it was a tough night for Jekka, but he still got signed to the UFC.
I saw that.
Is the first Indonesian, I believe, to sign with the UFC. So it was a really big thing. And
go Jekka.
Yeah. It was
That's
really
awesome.
cool. So I'm excited to see what he does at 145.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
And then Jubilee was, I believe he's the first fighter from India.
Okay.
I forget where specifically he's from, but
Let's see. Oh, there he is. Jubilee. Anshul Jubilee.
yeah, Anshul Jubilee.
Anshul. He is from... I can't find it. Anyway.
It's like the main, it's the capital of India.
Anshul. Oh, yeah. India. Yes. India's MMA fighter Anshul Jubilee creates history.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for them.
So it was a pretty cool, little story within, a bigger fight card. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I knew about Korean Zombie was supposed to be the main event, and then he got injured. So I think that's why they didn't have it in Korea anymore. But I didn't know that that's why they still had the timing the same. So
yeah, it was a big deal. There were top prospects from Asia. It was very big thing.
Very nice. All right, well, let's move on because I don't want to talk about poor Derek Lewis's fight. It was kind of like, ugh. It wasn't good. But like that Spivak guy, he's underrated. Like nobody really knows who he is. The only reason I know who he is because I had to watch tape on him once, and I was like, holy shit, this guy's pretty good, and nobody knows who he is. So it was a tough fight. It wasn't just like Derek Lewis dropping a fight to a scrub.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see what he does. But this guy, he is like the definition of elephant seal fighter. Like big old heavyweight, powerful, explosive. Like when they get bloody, it looks like something out of National Geographic. Like I actually enjoy watching his fights. So kudos to Spivak for winning that one. And we also that same day we got to go to Bellator. What was it? 290. I believe it was 290. Bellator, the last Emperor's last walk. We'll call it that. Yes. And we got to see Fedor go out in a blaze.
I'm really sad about that.
Yeah, not a blaze of glory, but a blaze.
It was kind of hard to watch it. Like it kind of bummed me out.
Yeah.
I've been in MMA for a really long time, and Fedor was like the guy to watch. He had so much mystique and just intrigue about him. You know, he's this guy who just, you know, knocks all these bigger dudes out. He's, you know, never looked anything more than, you know, an in-shape dad bod. And but he's so good. And he's, you know, very, very quiet. And, you know, I used to stay up all night and, you know, to watch him fight. So it was something that I really wanted to see. And then when I saw that he was going up against,
Ryan
Bader, I was like, why did you choose that to be your last walk when it ended the way it ended the last time? But apparently Fedor, you know, he is who he is, and he wanted an opportunity to possibly, you know, retire with the belt. So that's why he took that fight. Even though he could have requested anyone to fight as his last fight, he chose that. So I really respect that. I think that's really, really admirable. I didn't see it going any other way than the way that it went.
Yeah, I mean, his weight class is a lot different these days. You know, it's hard to be the smaller guy in there and still be able to wrestle effectively, to hit harder, you know, to be faster than some of these guys. Because Ryan Bader, he's an athlete. You know, he knows how to chill in certain places, and that's why he doesn't have like the biggest fan base compared to some of the other champions. But he is explosive, he's aggressive, and he's strong. So once he gets in a good position, that's usually what happens. Like he's able to smash the guy up. And that's what happened to Fedor, and everyone was sad. Did you see that video that Rampage Jackson posted on his Instagram? And like, I think it was a Russian guy, and he was trying to run up into the cage and got manhandled by security.
So I dream watching a fight of Fedor. I got to go cage side for that fight, and I missed that. I missed it. I
must have been on the other side.
I was probably on the other side. Hopefully I was on the side. I don't know how I could have missed that.
Yeah.
But I missed it, and I did not see that video. But what I did see was all of these ex-Pride fighter, Showtime fighters going into the cage and just paying their respects to
That was
Fedor.
really cool.
That was beautiful. I thought that was really amazing. I don't know if the actual broadcast got to see that because of like the time restraints, whatever it was, but I thought that was really beautiful. I thought that was amazing. And, you know, everyone just came to pay their respects and, you know, be a part of it. And I thought that was really a beautiful touch.
It was. It really was. And it made up for the loss because it shows you that what happened in the fight didn't matter. It didn't have any effect on his legacy. And all these people are paying their respects because of that. You know, people who are inspired by him, legends in their own right, you know. So that was really cool to see. I was happy I got to witness that for sure.
That's something that always drew me to Pride.
Yeah.
Was that you don't have to be necessarily the best, but they just were interested in putting together like exciting fights or unique fights. They were there was just a different vibe. It was a different time. The kind of fights that they put together were
they loved heart.
They really did.
The Japanese fans.
Oh yeah.
Like, dude, they love heart. Like
fighting in Japan was such a different experience. And I've only got, you know, to go there on a short notice, and I fought there, and it was the most amazing fight experience of my life. I know that they brought me in to lose. Like, I get it. I didn't, but I get what they were doing, and it was fine. But just the amount of respect that all fans showed, even though like I was the foreigner, I was, you know, coming into enemy territory, they were still so respectful. And there was just such like intelligence about like everyone there and what they were watching. They just appreciated every effort.
Aw.
It was just so different, you know?
Dude, that's like a dream of mine to fight in Japan.
Yeah.
I love Japan. I met Adam in Japan. If you guys don't know, Jess knows all about the story. When we were in college and student exchange, neither of us did any martial arts, and we met and we just clicked and then stayed in touch. And then when I came home, he came home with me.
And then they got married so they
like
could
a
date.
puppy. Yeah. Yeah, we got married so they wouldn't kick him out the country. And there you go. So Japan is a really special place for us, and it's crazy for me to think that I would end up doing this career and be in Japan and those two things didn't cross. You know what I mean? Like they didn't coincide. Like they were two separate things. But I would love to fight in Japan. Like they respect fighting so much and they understand the art of it. It's like when you're there, because we got to go to the New Year's show last time. They did, what was it? Was it Ryzen versus Bellator?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got to go to that show. And the stadium is the biggest stadium I've ever seen. And it was the Saitama Arena. But it was dead silent. Like every fight.
Yeah.
Dead silent. Is that how it was for yours?
Yeah. And then they clap.
Yes.
And then they clap out of respect when you're doing something
Good.
Impressive, good.
Like a reversal on the ground.
Yeah, they clap.
Like, what? That's crazy. You could probably hear people booing during the Islam Makhachev Volkanovski fight just because he got a takedown. In Japan, they would just go. Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I really want to fight for them. And the walkouts. Dude, what did you do? Did you do something cool for your walkout?
I didn't get to do anything cool.
You got to fight there again.
I do. It was an amazing experience. It was such a cool fight story. It's definitely by far the coolest thing I've ever gotten to do.
Nice.
Really?
You should do like a story time one episode. And like we'll whip out pictures and stuff and you just talk about that and I'll just listen and just be like, so jealous. So yeah, Japan is just really awesome for the way that they respect the fans. And I really do feel like that's where MMA got its biggest boost is from those pride tournaments, and then people started enjoying that. Then they started watching like UFC and taking it more seriously, and then we had UFC acquire pride, and now we have like what we see now in modern day MMA, and fans aren't as great.
Man, you know what
on this side.
So I just got a visual of when they had some of like they had Kalo Uno and Genki Sudo, and they had some of like the old school pride fighters come over and fight in the UFC, and I loved Genki Sudo.
Oh, me too. I was just watching his videos the other day.
Oh my god, he's the coolest fighter that has ever lived. And he did this amazingly beautiful walkout for when he fought in the UFC.
Ooh.
And it was so underappreciated. And it was beautiful. He was like
Which one
he was
was
a geisha with a fan, and he was blowing the lotus blow. Like it just gave me chills. Like it was so beautiful, and I felt like it didn't get like the appreciation, the respect that it deserved, because it was a beautiful moment. He's such a performer.
He is. That's probably why he quit, because he was still kind of in his prime when he hung up the gloves, but he was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna make synchronized dance videos. That's my thing now. I like this better.
I'm sure he's on TikTok or something.
Oh,
I'm not on
man,
TikTok.
he'd have a great TikTok.
He'd be great.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was really cool seeing that send off. Any other fights you want to talk about from the Bellator card?
That was the reason that I was there. Our friend Darion Caldwell fought. He opened up the card.
Still mad about that.
Still a little bit. Still rightfully so. Rightfully so.
Yeah.
I still don't understand how they scored it for the other guy.
Right?
I mean, what's the criteria for winning? So just real quick, our friend Darion fought 3 rounds and went to decision, and he took the guy down repeatedly. He controlled the guard. He didn't land too much from the guard, but he was still controlling. He still made it challenging for this guy. And he had like tons of control time.
Yeah.
Out of 15 minutes, I'd say he had more than half of that.
Yeah. And just to recap, I went and found the scorecard, and all judges gave Darian the first round, but then all 3 judges gave, what's this guy's name? Mikhailov. Yeah, I think that's how you say it. They all gave him the second and the third round. And I was just like, the fuck? Like, how?
How could you give him the first and then the second and third were pretty much the same as the first?
Yeah.
So how would you score that differently?
Exactly.
Like, what was the difference?
Yeah, if anything, the Russian guy, he was a little better at controlling Darian in the third round, but still, I felt like the control time was still more on Darian's side. Like, he landed the bigger shots on the outside, and it's one of those scorecards where if you gave Darian the first round, and then you gave that guy the second round, you should have given Darian the third round, because if you're going off of damage, I think in the second round, the guy was trying to do this a lot, like the punch.
While Darian was on his back?
Yeah, he was doing that a lot. If you're going for damage and shots landed and that counts, then you should have scored the third round for Darian because he landed the more shots on the feet. And then when the guy tried to take him down, he landed elbows to his head as he was like on his back trying to drag him to the floor. But if you're going to go with control time, which is what the guy had in the third round, you should have given Darian the second round. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Or do I just sound like a crazy person with numbers all around my head?
No. I followed you completely. Sometimes I don't, but I did.
I need some strings here. Some strings and push pins. I'm pissed. And you know what? We could segue that into the Volkanovski Islam Makhachev fight.
Listen, it's not the worst robbery I have ever seen,
but
homeboy won.
but so I was in my head, I was like, and during the fourth round, I was like, if they have Darian's judges, he might win this. Oh, is it time?
It's almost time to go to sprints.
Oh no.
I'm just gonna make a quick text.
Yeah.
Keep going.
So in my head, I was like, okay, I've seen people get points, win a fight just from landing punches while someone's on their back trying to choke him because the other guy isn't landing punches as well. Even though those punches don't really do things. I have yet to see someone get cut, someone get maimed, someone get swollen from a punch like this. But
it's like button mashing.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't do, you're looking busy, but you're not effective. You're not doing damage.
Trying to knock him out with the sweep in Mortal Kombat, you know?
Like, why do those even count?
Yeah, exactly. That shit, it doesn't hurt.
That was a really good analogy right
Yeah,
there.
good
That
job.
was really good.
Oh, well, it was like we bounced off it. Hey!
That was really good.
It really does peeve me that it's so different across the board. But in my head, I'm like, well, you know, he did more in the beginning half of the fourth round, and now Makhachev's on his back, but he's landing those punches. There's a chance he'll get the fourth. I didn't think it was likely. But I think the round that most people are saying Volk won was the second. And that's one I need to actually rewatch. Because live, I thought Volkanovski lost that round.
I thought it was so close. So the first and second round were so freaking close. I was like, it could potentially go either way. Mm-hmm. I do have to watch the second round again because I feel like that is the one that stood out in my mind the most.
Yeah.
But for sure, I thought he had the third and the fifth. Mm-hmm. Fourth, fourth, of course. Mott got it.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But I was just like, man, like.
I felt like he could have gotten like you remember Max Holloway versus Volkanovski 1. How everyone was so upset that Max was like dominating the first 2 rounds and then the last 3 were close, but Volkanovski ended up winning. And I was thinking, judges like him. There's a chance they're counting these. And he's still in the round with it. But I have to rewatch that second round. I do remember it being close, but the pessimist in me was like, close but no cigar. Just because I wanted, like, I do the opposite thing that most fans do. When I have a fighter that I like and want to see win, and it's a close round, I automatically think their opponent gets it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've been burned too
You're
many times.
so jaded. Oh,
I've been burned.
I get it.
Me, my friends, my associates, we've all been burned. Yeah. Fucking Derek Cleary and Sal D'Amato and fucking Douglas Crosby and suck a dick.
You know, I never cared to know the judges' names until you.
Yeah, well, I have a list. Derek clearly, he's giving me wins, but he's still on my shit list for the Watterson fight, so just putting it out there.
That's fair.
He was the 49-46 for Islam. Just putting it out there. Don't start a riot. He usually gets it right, but just putting it out there. He's no Douglas Crosby, but just putting it out there.
He's the worst.
he is the worst. I don't think I've seen him score a fight.
No,
since.
he got in trouble.
Oh, yes.
He got in a little bit of trouble.
How's
we
that
talked
feel?
about him on a previous episode, and I swear, right after we had this conversation, like I
that's
saw
when the article came out.
Yeah. I saw his name in the headlines. I was like, oh, he's up for review. Finally, it only took how many years and how many terrible decisions.
Yeah, and millions of people complaining. That's all it took.
It's fucked.
Yeah, it's very
really
fucked.
fucked.
But hey, at least he's in trouble, and hopefully we won't see him anytime soon. Well, since he got to run, let's pause it here, and we'll do our exclusive 15 minutes and talk about the crazy card that was UFC 284. I know you already got a taste, but we're going to go into depth when you return.
Be right back.